Building a menu for your website can be cumbersome, it can be tricky. And with the release of Quickly's mega menu system, I've been playing with it for a minute and I'm trying to push it to its limit to see like what it cannot do at the moment and what it can do. In this video, I want to show you how to create a menu called a split menu. So what is a split menu specifically? So a split menu is any type of menu that has items on the left, like these items you can see, an image in the middle, and then items on the right hand side, and probably you do have a button on the far end of it. So that is what a split menu is, or a menu that has the image in the middle. How are you able to create that natively using just Quickly? That is what I want to show you. So we're going to go into the back end and I'm going to show you how to go about creating something like this and some of the things you might want to do to avoid you running into any roadblocks. So into the back end. So as you can see, I have already created this and we're going to delete this and start it from scratch. So let's just in here in the section, just click on close and everything is gone. So I'm just saving it up. All right. So first thing that we are going to do is to add a section. All right. We have to remove this paragraph. So our section is added. Next thing that I'm going to do is we do need an image. So when we go on the tablet and the mobile, we will need an image to display on the left hand side. So we do need an image. So I'm going to add an image. So image here, and let's go into primary and then click on set image, and I'm going to choose this. So that's the image that I'm going to use. And then we are going to add our nav. If you want to add a nav, you can just click on this and then type in nav. You're going to find it. I've added a nav to my quick inserter, so I am going to just look for that over here. Just drop down. This is nav, and I'm going to click on blank nav. So that is good. The next thing that I am going to do is to make sure that this particular one is hidden. Let's hide it. So click on this and we're going to go into design and then go into layout. And then for layout, we want to make sure that this is none. So it is gone. We don't see it anymore. And that is good because we do not want to show it on the desktop mode, because in the desktop mode, we are going to include it in the nav section. We're going to include it over here. All right. So that is done. So in here, what we're going to do is just give it some names. So we're going to use Figma's names. So I'm just going to open Figma and then start typing in the names that I want. So the first one I'm going to put in products. All right, so we don't need the drop down. Sorry for that. Let's remove the drop down. We only need links. Whatever that you want to do, but I don't need drop downs. I just need links. So I'm just going to duplicate that. Next then is enterprise. And then the last one is pricing. All right, and that is done. So that's the first part on the left hand side. I'm going to click on the nav, and on the nav, I'm going to just, you can add anything, whether you want an image or an icon. I'm going to use an icon. Let's use the image so that we know that we are using like the same thing. So I'm going to click over here and then choose this image that we used. So that is good. I'm going to come back over here and then duplicate this. All right, in this, we are just going to add more, call these resources. Next one is community. And then the last one is going to be login. All right, so that is good. So from here, our next thing that we would want to do is to make sure that we have given this one enough space around. That is what we're going to work on. So with our nav still selected, I'm going to go into the settings panel, and then over here, if you're on primary, you can click on the settings panel. And then in the settings panel, you will see that on the right hand side, you see style. Click on the style. And then over here, we are going to try and find the wrapper for this. So when you hover on this, you're going to see that this one shows that, okay, there's a wrapper for it. So when you click on this one too, this is the wrapper for the links itself. And that is what we want to have the spaces in between, because we want spaces between the product and the enterprise. So it is the links wrapper. So I'm going to click on that and then go to layout. And for layout, I'm going to make sure that the direction is a row. And then I'm going to give it a column gap of 30 pixels. So that is perfect. Next thing that we need to do is to find a way to make sure that everything over here is spaced in between. And that is where there's a problem. I'm going to show you what the problem is. So let's close this, right? You can see that when you hover on this, it shows you that it is the container that holds all the items. So let's click on that. And then in here, let's go to layout. And then let's say it is this as flex, and let's do space in between. Nothing happens. For some reason, I think that there is an extra div that is wrapping this that we cannot see. So let's remove everything here and close this, and then come back into, let's say, the nav, right? And then in the nav, let's click on design. For design, let's go into layout. And then let's make sure that this is in a row and space in between. Still nothing happens. So you can see that these two, whatever those wrappers are, we cannot affect them over here. So we might have to dig into the developers panel and then see what the classes are and then use the class to affect it. So let me save this. All right, let's try and preview this on a page. We're going to see, when I refresh it, you're going to see it on this page. So this is what we have. I know it's big. We're going to fix it. So I open my developers panel, and then over here, I'm going to highlight this. All right, so when you highlight this, this is the div that is holding all the items. Let's open it up. You can see that there's another div over here called CC Nav Wrapper. All right, let's open that. You can see that there's another div that holds the menu items, which is the CC Nav content. All right, so in here, let's say that you can see that this is already in Flex Display. Let's make this space in between. Nothing is happening, even though it's space in between. Why? Probably this wrapper, which wraps it, is not 100% of its main wrapper, which is this one. So the CC Nav wrapper needs to be 100%. So we can come over here, just click here and then type in width, and then give it 100%. And now it works. So that is what we are going to try and do in the back end. So we're going to copy this. So copy that class CC Nav wrapper, and we go into the header, and I'm going to make sure that we've selected this, and then go into advanced, and over here, the period sign, and then let's paste in our class, and then open it, and then make sure that width is 100%. All right, still nothing is going to happen. The next thing is to go back, and then we need to find the other one, which is the content. So copy that one too, come into over here, and then come down, and then type that in, and then open your curly brackets. And over here, we need justify content and make sure that it is space in between. And voila, it is working now. So that is what we needed. And that is one of the tricky part of all that we're going to do today. So it is pretty good. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go back into my section, and in the padding and margins, I'm going to give this one everything, let's say 24, or I'll give, no, just 20 pixels is good, right? All right, just 20 is good. So that is saved. Let's go back into the front end and let's refresh. And yep, everything is perfect here with space in between, and we do have our image in the middle. So you have been able to create a split menu. Now, the next thing is to make sure that this is responsive. So let's try and see how responsive this is. So click over here, and then you can see that when you click on this, it turns into tablet. When you click over here, the image is here. It doesn't look nice. So we're going to try and make it more responsive. All right, so let's go back here and then go into the back end. All right, so we are going to click on tablet. This is going to happen. Don't worry, everything is fine. the next thing to do is to make sure that we click on this image, and then we are going to make sure we go into design and then go into layout. You can see that it is none. We want to make sure that we give it flex. Perfect. All right, let's go back into our section. And then for the section, we don't want this to be on this side. We do not want this one to be like down below. So what we are going to do, also we are in the design and then the layout. Over here, we are going to make sure that it is in a row. And then we are going to space in between and then make it center. Just like that. So let's click over here. So when you click, you can see that it still works perfectly. All right. So what do we need to do next? We are going to open, this is already open. Let's open the nav, and then this image needs to go away. So on tablet mode, we want to make sure that we don't have the image. So we're already in the design. We are in the layout. We're going to make sure that we're just going to click on none, and then it goes away. So now we do have a really good menu, really good. And we also do not have the image in the middle. And when we go over here, we see that we have a logo here, which is pretty good. So let's click here, and then let's do a little bit of styling in here. So our nav is still selected. I am going to go into the primary section, and then over here, we are going to give the model, which is the pop-up. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to give this one a padding. So let's say a padding 39 pixels. All right, that is good. I'm going to close this and then go into our settings panel. And then I'm looking, go into drop down, go over here. I'm looking for, I'm going to make this one full width instead of being like this small thing over here. All right. Where can I find that? I always struggle finding that. All right, so we have full width and then off canvas. So full width. So just like that. And that is good. We can also make it off canvas. It doesn't change anything. So we can make it off canvas. The next thing I want to do is I want to add an extra logo at the top here. So for you to do that, I can, where is that? Okay, it's right here. So when you are in your settings, you click on modal and you click on visual. You will be able to add, like, if you want to add an extra logo to the top here, you can definitely do that. So that being done, let's go back into our style. We're still on the nav, and then click on style. So for style, we're going to look for modal. And then in the modal, what we need to do is go into layout. We're going to give this one like some spacing, and then make this one as a column. Put it on the left-hand side. You can make a center if you want. You can leave it at the top like that. And then over here, let's give it like breathing space, like 40 pixels. And that is great. All right, so that is done. The next thing that we need to do is there's a container here that wraps the two nav items. So when we click on that and then we click on layout, we can click on column just like this, put it on the left-hand side, and then we're going to give it a row gap of 20 pixels. Don't worry, we don't have to like space this. We're going to fix it very soon. So close this one again, and then we're going to go down here. You see this link wrapper? So nav links, this link wrapper, we're going to open the link wrapper and then go back into layout. And in the layout, we are going to make sure this is also in the column, put it on the left-hand side, and then the row gaps, let's make this one also 20. And we are almost done with what we are trying to do. So let's save this. And then when we close it, beautiful. All right, so let's go into the front end. Let's refresh it. This refreshed, and then let's open developers panel and let's try and see. All right, so you can really see the logo because we are still like logged in. So I am going to copy the link, and then I'm going to open incognito. Hopefully we can see incognito. All right, and then I'm going to paste this in here. All right, that is good. Let's open developers panel again, and then tablet mode. So when I click on here, now you can see that everything works. So this is how you create a split menu. If you're looking for a split menu, this is one way of creating it. And yeah, if I missed anything, if you think that there's another way that I could have achieved something over here, you can leave it down in the comment section. And if you did like the video too, you can give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can also subscribe to the channel. My name is Nyako. Thank you for watching.